All right, the New York City Council is trying to figure out whether to ban e-cigarettes from indoors. Now, subject them basically to the same rule as tobacco cigarettes, even though, and here's the big catch, there isn't any evidence yet that they are harmful. They do contain nicotine, but former Bush Surgeon General, who I should say is on the payroll of one of these companies anyway, he says it may be helpful to people to quit cigarettes if you let them smoke them. So again, Andrew, the premise is they want to ban something that we don't have empirical evidence is bad for you, but they still are cigarettes. And how does somebody ever know, what's real and what's not when you're trying to enforce just a regular ban?
I'm torn on this one. I mean, I've worked with people who used e-cigarettes, and they're inside in this building, and you're working right next to them. They're not smoking, so should they be penalized for smoking when they're not? I kind of think that you have the libertarian in me comes out and wins on this one. I think in the overall. If there's some evidence that there's a problem, if there's some evidence that they're harmful in some way, then I would say ban them.
What could be the problem? I mean, you're blowing vapor into the air. I mean, for God's sakes, I don't like people who chew gum. Stop chewing gum in the subways. This is utterly ridiculous.
But
the world's falling apart right before our eyes.
It's more nuanced, and Tom, no nuance at all.
But
how is there nuance? I mean, someone's sitting there with an e-cigarette and blowing puffs of vapor
Chicago's
water.
doing this too. The point is, you can't look at somebody and know if it's a real cigarette, is it a fake
Also,
one?
that's the issue now.
But that is the issue.
I know if someone's having a cigarette or if they're having an e-cigarette. I mean, you'd have to be stupid not to recognize what's going on.
Former smoker?
Of course I'm a former smoker.
Would you
a tobacco chewer?
Yeah. What do you think?
It's annoying sitting next to
In
somebody
New York
who's a former
City,
smoker.
cigarettes are sold yesterday, so get rid of them.
E-cigarettes are the new,
Any non-smoker would say, why are we even discussing this? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
You agree?
we have people outside of Madison Square Garden smoking weed in public
I read about
these
this
days.
and I don't get it. What is the problem? You know if somebody's smoking, you can smell it. You can smell it all over them. So
can.
who is confused by whether it's an e-cigarette or a real? Now I agree with Andrew. If there is an evidence that comes forward that it is harmful to secondhand smoke or something, secondhand e-smoke, I don't know. But otherwise I don't really get it. I don't get
And
it.
right now, Andrew, at the council, where does this really stand?
It's pretty divided right now in the council. The thought is they're going to have to do it by the end of the year, or they probably won't do it next
But
year.
aren't there some people who say there is evidence it's harmful? I mean, that's
Some
the real.
maintain it,
some
but there's no
maintain it.
scientific empirical evidence that says
They gotta wait
one
for
way or the
that.
other.
Are they kidding?
All right.
No,
That's what I said. That's what I said.
Jumping on me here. All right. We come back. We'll wrap things up. Stay with us.